Okay, here's what I was afraid of with this dorky pigeon of ours. She's left the nest, the egg's cold, and it's hatching. I can see a baby moving in there. Now, doesn't this egg have to be kept warm? Why are you off the nest when the chick's hatching? I mean, there she is just standing, looking over at the other pigeons. I put the chick egg back in here and decided to put on a space heater over there to heat the room up. I don't know, is she supposed to be off the nest like this when the chick's hatching? Does the chick need to be cool to hatch? Maybe she knows a lot better than me. I can't find anything online about birds leaving a hatching chick. And then we gotta make sure she's taking care of this chick too, because if she's just a bad mother, as some birds are, she might not take care of the chick at all. So I called the pet store to see if they had some kind of hand formula for rearing abandoned chicks. And they have. It's basically listed for all the parrot type species, but since all these species eat seeds and they all regurgitate to feed the babies, I would think it would be okay for pigeons too. I'm just filming from the doorway, but she's trying to get out of the cage. She's trying to go over to see Larry. She sat on it so diligently for the last couple days. And now that it's hatching, she wants to get out of the cage and leave. It's like she doesn't know what to do. So she's looking at Larry like, I want to go over by Larry. I mean, I've been peeking in here thinking that she'll be at least back over there sitting near it, but it's like she wants to just get out of the cage now. She's like, oh, I've been sitting on this egg for 18 days, and now I think I want to get out of here. Look at her. She wants to get out. I'm just preparing here in case I have to raise this chick. I got a heating pad because our heating pad was burnt out. We had it many years and we didn't have another one. I got a little basket here and I put some soft t-shirts in it. And I'm going to see how warm that gets. I have the heating pad on low. I've had a couple experiences raising wild birds. I raised a baby barn swallow that fell out of its nest. I was actually pushed out of its nest by the other ones. There were too many and it fell down. Actually fell onto concrete, but was okay because he was so light. And he was just covered with the fuzz. He didn't have feathers yet. I raised him on smashed up crickets, freeze-dried crickets and other insects that I could find, like moths and mosquitoes. Smashed up, and he learned to catch his own insects, and then he was let go. We had a screen house that we put up, and I'd leave the door open at night and moths and mosquitoes would get in there, and in the morning I'd take him around. He'd sit on my finger and I'd take him up to the screen and he would grab at the insects that were flying around in there. And once he got used to doing that and he was flying and he didn't want me grabbing him and putting him in the cage for the night, then I let him go where there were other barn swallows near a creek, and he just took off after these other barn swallows and was doing amazing aeronautics just like the other barn swallows. So I hope he was okay. And my other experience raising a bird was after a storm, a crow's nest busted apart during the night, and in the morning there was a baby crow laying dead on the lawn. And while I was outside, I heard a crackling, and down came the rest of the nest with the other baby, and the other baby fell about 60 to 70 feet out of this tall oak tree. He bounced on the soft lawn that was all moist from the rain, and he also had fuzz on him, and I raised him up on canned dog food. And he grew up and would fly around and go on my head and shoulders. And then one day he heard the rest of the crows calling in our neighborhood here, and it probably was his family, and he took off and flew out to them, and he never came back. So I've had experience with that, but I've never had experience raising a newborn chick that's like helpless and bald. And if I have to hand feed this chick, I already called the pet store, and they have stuff that's for parrots, for hand rearing parrots, which is about the same because the parrots eat the seeds and then regurgitate it, the half-digested seeds. So that's what pigeons do too. They call it pigeon milk. It's really just all the stuff plus some kind of liquids that the pigeon produces in its crop. And there she is sitting on top. She's sitting on top of the wooden platform. Now, is this normal? Do they just go away while the babies are hatching and then come back? See, I don't know this, and I'm not finding any information about that on the internet. I pulled a little piece of shell off there to make it slightly easier. I don't want him hatching real fast, but he's been chilled there, so he's on this now. I put him in the room. She's showing no interest at all, and just is like, I'm done. Okay, I had the eggs hatching. I'm done now. My job's done. But he's alive, and I see his little beak at the bottom, right here. There's his beak. Been 3 hours after he hatched, or I helped him hatch, and look at now. He's moving around, and he's even lifting his head up. And I'm wondering if there's going to be a response to opening his mouth. I'm going to give him half an hour yet. Half an hour yet. And see if he opens his mouth a little. I don't want to feed him too soon. Look at that ugly little face there. Oh my goodness. How are ya? But look at that. He's drying out. Almost can sit up. Look at that. I'm going to have to get it past his air gullet, and that's going to be difficult. So I'm going to try it without the camera on first. I'm trying to stimulate him. I was thinking maybe the mother would kind of be... I don't know how this is going to work out, I'll tell you that, because I've never taken care of a newborn bird like this. Look at that, here he opens his mouth a little. I'm just going to give him another half hour in there, and then I'm going to try feeding him. He's a weak little chick. I don't know how long he was in the nest when he was trying to hatch and he was not being kept warm by Georgie. And I've tried feeding him a couple times, and let me tell you, it is not easy because he is so tiny. And I'm trying to get, and some, you know, they say use a spoon that's bent up, use a, don't use a tube, because the tube can scratch. But I'm trying, all I have is a tube, so I'm trying to go past the opening to his, maybe you call it the wind pipe or trachea. I'm trying to go past that and give him a little, and I pinch the sides of his beak a little bit at the corners and kind of pump his head, maybe like a parent would do. And I'm hoping that reaction like that will be to close off his trachea. But I don't know that he's not aspirating a little bit of this, which would give him pneumonia. I don't know. It's very, very difficult. He's so tiny, and he's rather weak. And he's got such a tiny mouth. But we'll just keep trying, because that's all I can do. And trying to keep him warm. We are keeping him warm in here. He just had a little bit, but then he gets sleepy. This is blood from the egg. And this is a little bit that he went to the bathroom. And there he is. Well, do the best we can. I like I said, I've raised birds before, but they've been birds that already have fuzz and are opening their mouths to eat, and not such a newborn weakling like this. It certainly didn't help that he was chilled when he was trying to hatch. Let's give him a covering here again a bit. Get a little air in there. Look at this there. Okay. You know, Murphy's Law, right? This little guy started hatching out just when I had to take our guinea pig Schmedley to the vet. He was getting in really bad condition. He was losing weight. He had been to the vet a couple months ago and he had lost so much weight. They did a blood test and it turned out that it wasn't kidney failure. It wasn't an infection, which probably meant it was cancer or thyroid. But he didn't even have enough blood. They couldn't get enough blood to send a sample out. 16 hours old. You want more to eat? A little lukewarm water. I'm just going to give him a little wipe off because I got it all over his eye and his face there. Let's give you a little wipe off, huh? Now, Is that your crop pretty full? Is it pretty full? Could you use a little more? Let's see, kind of see the response. Responding. That was probably enough. Now he wants to go back. Back in the nest. "22 hours. 22 hours after hatching." Let's feed him again. He's peeping here. Come on. Come on, open up. You got it. This crop, you can do a little bit more in here. Come on. Swallow it. You're swallowing it. Feel his crop, and his crop is nice and full. And back he goes to the nest. Sometimes I wonder if you have to, like kittens, you have to kind of manipulate them a little to make them go to the bathroom, but it seems like he's going to the bathroom. Look at that. He's going to the bathroom on his own. So let's give him a fresh. I guess I'm just learning a lot about tiny birds like this. There you go, dear. Go back to sleep. Hurry up. Keep warm in there. There we are. In his little cave, his little pidgey cave. Okay, 40 hours old, so he's not even 2 days old yet. And look at his feet. He's moving his toes, his wings. Keeps his neck up a little bit, but not all the time. And let's compare him to the size of an egg. This is the fake egg, but it's the same size. But putting it next to him, I do not think he'd fit into that egg anymore, so he is growing. You are growing like a little bugger. He's growing like a little bugger, and he's hungry. And he's hungry every about hour and a half. And you can feel his crop here in the front, right in the front here where my thumb is. And if that crop feels like a little balloon, then he still has food in it. But if it starts to feel empty, then it's time to feed him again. You're just the ugliest little thing, you ugly little thing. He says, "I'm ugly, Mom, but I'll be beautiful someday." I hope you make it. I was thinking you weren't gonna, but you seem to be doing all right. But that doesn't mean something can't suddenly happen. You just fall right asleep again. Just put you on your side there. Here, go to sleep. Go to sleep, little chick man. All right, we're gonna cover him up again a little bit.